Hey guys, this is Tiffany again with the Nerdettes, and I'm coming back to you to talk about the Orville again, episode 2, called Command Performance. And this has been, I was kind of skeptical about the series, being one, it's Fox, and look what they did to Firefly, and two, the fact that I almost felt like they were going to parody Star Trek in maybe a tasteless way. But so far, they've actually done a good job, so I'm pretty impressed. I mean, it's Seth MacFarlane. What else can you say? But yeah. So this episode, we have a bunch of different things happening. We see Ed and Kelly. They get in contact with a Calivan vessel that sends out a distress signal, and when they get to it, they can't make contact. And they're afraid that people are hurt on board or something's going on. So they go over to the ship, and when they get there, it's like a transporter that, beam me up Scotty style, which transports them somewhere else. And at first we don't know where, but it ends up being an exact replica of their old apartment or home or condo maybe that they used to live in when they were a couple, that Ed and Kelly used to live in, because they're the ones that go down there. He leaves Alara in command, who is, as we know, the chief of security for the Orville, and of course she's green in the gills, as they say. She's not used to running command. She's very young, so a lot of people don't really know her merit or have that amount of respect for her that probably she deserves. Everyone deserves that benefit of the doubt, regardless. I mean, there's always a reason why they have gotten to that position. Sorry, my nose is getting to me today, but yeah. So she's there. We also see Bortus, who we find out has an egg. And he asked for a leave of absence of exactly 21 days because he is hatching an egg, and he has to sit on it for that duration until it hatches and becomes a child. So him and his partner, Clyden, are very excited. So, but yeah, so he can't be in command. That's why Alara is the next one to kind of take over. But, so when Ed and Kelly finally wake up, you find out that they're in a Calivan zoo, and it's basically the Calivan are said to be an advanced race that believe that their intelligence and their technology and way of thinking are miles and light years beyond what any other race has the capacity for. And in a way, they're very right, and in a way, I'm sure it could be argued that they're very wrong. So, but yeah, they still have that concept of zoos, and this is the same thing. And they have 2 humans now, which typically they go for 1, but now they got 2 for 1, obviously, with Ed and Kelly. So, they are trapped in like this kind of force field, like what would normally be glass is like a force field keeping them inside, but they have everything they need. They have basically a food processor, or like almost like a microwave that can create anything. If you've ever seen Fifth Element, it's like that. You push a button, tell it what you want, and boom, here it is. Whether it be alcohol or food or any type of dessert or anything. So of course they make chocolate cake and share it between Ed and Kelly, and so we get to see that they have their little, they finally get to have this little talk of them as what happened previously. The way they trapped them was very ingenious too, because they had his father and his mother who that they thought that they were on this vessel. It's like, Mom, Dad, how did you get there? And they only the extremely genius Calivan could have thought to make him talk about his colon problems and rattle on incessantly about them and about their relationship. It's very interesting how they have such a way to do that, but I thought that was very interesting. But yeah, so Alara's in command and freaking out, obviously, because now their captain and their, his co-captain are gone, and they don't know where they've gone to. All they know is that this ship, at this point, they learn it's a hologram, that the ship that was supposedly in distress is like some sort of an advanced hologram that didn't exist. The only thing that does exist is like this buoy. So she decides to bring it, like almost like reel it in, if you will, and pull it into the ship. And of course, as we all know, it's a trap. I mean, we've seen enough Star Trek and Star Wars to know this is a trap. She brings it in, it's coming into the bay, and it blows up immediately. So it damages the bay. Luckily, no one dies, but a lot of people are gravely injured. And of course she feels very upset because she feels like she's to blame for making that call, because she's basically desperate to find the captain and Kelly at this point. So she, is pretty down on herself. She consults with the doctor, Claire, to kind of mentor her. And because she's, at this point, she doesn't know what she's doing. She talks to Bortus, but of course he doesn't tell her anything at all or help her, because he's mainly focused on, watching over his egg, his progeny. So he doesn't really, have many things to say except you're in charge. You need to take command and figure out what it is that you want to do. So Alara talks to the Admiral, and Admiral Tucker orders her to return to Earth. He says that they'll have to write off Captain Ed and Kelly Grayson as missing in action, and that there's no way that they're even allowed in Calivan space, not to mention that she would be putting everyone in danger. And he says it would be way too risky and foolish for them to even try to get them back. So she decides she's gonna do it, even though the crew are very much against it and want to go and try to get them back. So she has turned around the ship at this point to head back to Earth. She's upset because everybody hates her at this point. Like, the whole crew wants to, of course, go after the captain. She goes back to Claire and's like, I don't know what to do. Everybody hates me. No one wants to understand that this is my order. And the doctor actually gives her some great insight. She's like, look, you're in command. You have a choice. You can either, take the order, or you can make an executive decision as captain to go against that and take on that risk and go find them. So she debates about it, goes into like the cafeteria area, makes a grand announcement basically that she's decided that even though that the Admiral gave her those orders, those are her orders. She acknowledges them, but they can stuff them. She's going to go look for the captain and co-captain Kelly Grayson. So they finally get to the zoo. They basically camouflage their ship because they've been able to analyze some of the debris and the scanning technology of the Calivan to kind of use it against them. So they're able to camouflage their vessel, and they have their equivalent of Data on board, who can kind of act as a go-between, being that he has this android-like intelligence to go in and talk to the Calivan about releasing the captain and also releasing Kelly. So they get to the zoo, they see them, they talk to the Calivan, and Alara's like his pet, and the minute when she's like deadpan and like woof, it's hilarious, because she's supposed to be like his, almost like his companion, but like again a pet. So she obviously is not very pleased about this. So but she finally speaks to them and offers them an exchange for giving them the captain and co-captain back. She gives them reality TV. And they're so amused by this, and how many channels there are of like Duck Dynasty and Desperate Housewives and all these different things that they're so excited. This is like their best exhibit they've ever had, watching this crazy drama of reality TV. So they're able to rescue the captain and co-captain and return to the Orville, and Alara receives the Sapphire Star, which is like the Medal of Honor, basically. And at the very end, a major thing happens. The Bortus's egg finally hatches, and it turns out to be female. And they deem it impossible. You know, all Mocklins are supposed to be male, and I think they say like 1 in every 75 million or even billion. I don't even remember the exact ratio it's supposed to be, or probability. But yeah, it turns out to be female. And at this point, I was almost afraid that they were going to think of like having her killed or something at this, but we'll learn more in the next episode about a girl. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. We have a lot more coming of the Orville. We're also going to be reviewing more shows like when Westworld returns. We're going to be reviewing Star Trek Discovery, Walking Dead when it starts back, Ruby, the newest volume when it starts. We're going to be reviewing a lot of different things. So also Stranger Things 2 when it comes out here next month. But yeah, we've got more unboxings coming. We've got Skoshbox, which is probably getting unboxed tomorrow. We've got Think Geek capsule, Loot Crate, regular Loot Crate anime. We've got Owl Crate coming. Lots of other unboxings that you are going to be excited about. We also have a big giveaway. We're giving away Destiny 2, which we'll have more details about that later. So keep an eye out on that, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like us on Facebook if you haven't already at facebook.com/thenerdettes. So again, thank you for watching, and we hope to see you again. Bye guys.